Alright guys, welcome to creating your resume. Again, we're going to be working with a skills-based resume, and what I'm going to show you today is how to format your resume correctly. So the first thing I want you to do is we are going to use Microsoft Word. We're not going to use a Google Doc. Some of the functionality that we need to format it correctly goes away in Google Docs. So you're going to use a Word document. Go to Microsoft Word. Usually from the home menu you go to the Microsoft Word icon here. Once you get there, it'll ask you to create a new document and it'll pop up to here. Next thing you're going to want to do is go to File, and you're going to go to Save As, and we are going to go to Browse. My thought is to keep this simple for you to find is to go ahead and save it to your network ID on the side here. Mine doesn't show that because I don't have one, but you guys should have an ID, and then you're going to save it in your file so that you can access it later on any other computer. Okay, the file name, I want you to just name it your name, so Luke Cheever resume. And you might want to put a date maybe, so maybe it's 11-2018. So I'm going to press enter, and now I am to my home screen. From here, what we're going to do is we are going to first start out by changing our margins. Our margins are on the outside of the document here. We want to create a longer set of margins. So right now, if you go to layout, you go to margins, and then we want to go from a 1-inch margin to a 1/2-inch margin. What this is going to do is going to spread out your page a little bit more. Once you're done with that, we're going to go back to the home page, and the first thing I'd like you guys to do is we are going to go to insert, and what we want to insert here is, let's see, where is it at here? I'm sorry, we're going to go to design. We're going to go to design, and we're going to go to page borders. Okay, this is optional. You don't have to do this, but I think it looks nice and clean, and so what I like to do is just do a box. And this is going to give us a border on our page. So you can look through all these here to see which border. I would say try to keep it simple. You want this to look real clean, not too much going on. So I'm just going to do a real simple line. Color needs to be black. The width you can change, but again, we don't want a 6-point thickness. It's going to look a little ridiculous. So I'm going to go with a 3/4 point, and it's going to apply to the whole document here. Or you can click on what you want your document to be bordered with. So it could be just the left and the bottom, but I'm going to go the whole document. As you can see, now I've got a border around my page. Okay. It's a good look. It makes it just look nice. Okay, once we're there, we're going to go to insert. We're going to go to so we're going to go to insert header. And we are going to pick this 3-column header box. And it's going to ask us to type here, type here, type here. What we want to do is click on the middle one. We're going to put our first and last name. You can do that in all caps. You can do it however you'd like. Whatever you like the look of that better. Okay. From here, we need to go back to the Home tab. And this is too small. We want our name to pop. And we also don't want these. So I'm going to delete these. by highlighting them and then pressing the delete button. We're going to highlight our name. We're going to go to size 20, looks pretty good. And then we can also bold our name. From here, we're going to press enter. We want to go back to the 11 font. It's going to go left align now, so we're back over here on the left side. We're going to unbold. We're going to put in our street address, so I'm just going to make it an address up. Paula Drive, Fort Collins, Colorado 80526 or 7. So once I have my address, I'm going to just put a couple spaces. I'm going to put brackets 970. My phone number is what we're putting here, space 488-6750. And now we don't want our phone number right there. What we want is it to be all the way over on the other side of the page. So we're going to space, hold down space bar, go all the way until one number drops below, backspace once, and you know you've got it all the way to the right side of the page. Once we're done with that, our phone number is done. We're going to press enter. And again, it's going to go back to size 20. We want to put that back to 11. And it's going to automatically go to bold again. So we want to unclick bold. From here, I'm going to look at the template again. Remember, you can access this template on Google Classroom. But we want to do city, state, and zip. So I made a mistake up above. We want to take the Fort Collins, Colorado 80527. And we want to just cut that. And we'll paste it down here by using Control V. And this came back over, so I just need to go over here and space this out once again. So we got city, state, and zip underneath our address. And the last thing we're going to want to do is put our email. So I'm going to put lcheever@psdschools.org. And again, we don't want it right here. It looks like crap. I'm going to space that over all the way until it drops down a little bit. I'm going to press backspace. Now I know it's all the way on the right side of the page. This right here is a good header. Okay, and somewhere along the line I lost the border. So I'm going to go, if you already have your border, don't worry about this, but I'm going to go back and do that real quick. Okay, now we want to now begin adding to our resume. This is what we want. You could even, if you'd like, you could underline your name. Just make sure you don't have the underline all the way out here. You're just going to highlight just the name. So if it's doing that, try going from the very back and slowly going over each letter. And now I can underline that. Okay. The header is done. When we're done with the header, we need to double click outside of the header box. So I'm going to double click, and now my header is complete. So we should be looking about something similar to this. We don't want our first section to be right up against our header, so we're going to go ahead and space it out one. So our cursor should be here. Again, we're going to go use our template, and you see that there's a little break or a line right here. I'm going to show you how to do that. So what you're going to do is you are going to and actually we can go back to this and we can put our line right here so it's not spaced. So we're going to go to Insert, we're going to go Shape, we're going to pick the line, and what we're going to do is we're going to hold down Shift before we click. We're going to start our line, and if we hold down Shift, it makes a straight line all the way across. If you don't hold down Shift, then it can go up and down and create an uneven line. So there's our line. Again, you can mess with this line a little bit. You can create more thickness. You can we don't really want it to be a different color. We want it to be black. You know, we can have different effects on it. You know, if you put a glow around it, that's fine. Just make sure it's black, because we're not going to print this off in color. So we would want some type of black glow, but that's just too much for me. Just don't like it. Reflection, again, you're not seeing too much here. You can mess with these things here, but not absolutely necessary. So let's say you need to move this line up and down. You're going to use the mouse to where you get the little 4 arrows there, and you're going to click the line, and all you have to do is use your arrow keys now to move it up or down or left or right. And I just want to make sure that this is nice and even with what I have here. And I also don't want it to be tucked so close to my wording. I kind of want to give it some space to breathe. Once I'm done with that, I can press enter, and if I press enter and the line goes with me, okay, I press backspace. I just need to move the line, so I need to find the 4 arrows, move it a little bit, and then press enter again, and then get the 4 arrows and move your line up to where you want it, and then press your arrow down and it'll be away from your cursor. Okay, so we're going to go to we are going to go back to our template. We got the line. Now it's asking us position applying for. Okay, so or I like to just put you know, whatever your job description says. So let's say it is a let's just, for instance, let's take Costco customer service representative. Okay, so that's the reason we add that, is because we want them, and I'm going to go to 12 font here now, and I can bold this. But the reason we add this is because we want the person that is looking at our resume to know what job we are specifically applying for. This is where you start customizing your resume to the job that you are going to be applying for. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to press enter, and you can see that there's a lot of space between these two things now, the Costco customer service representative and the next line. So what I want to do is I want to go to this paragraph button right here. I'm going to press it, and I'm going to remove the space after the paragraph, and I'm also going to remove the space before. No, that didn't work. See here why that's not. There we go. So you should be able to come at representative here, go to the paragraph button, and it should say remove, not add, but it'll say remove. You can press enter, and it should come right down below it. I'm going to go back to my template. So what it says here is we want to summarize qualifications and qualities that make you the best candidate for this position in this section. So I'm going to stop and teach just for a little bit right here. This again is where we want to customize our resume towards our job description. So what you should have in front of you is a printed out job description, highlighting on that job description what it is that they want in who they are hiring.